Hey, welcome back to the I did make it. If you've heard the last episode.
Hey, you're here.
Yeah. There was a lot of dipping and diving to get here, but I got here.
You got
so.
bob and weave.
I haven't slept in days though. I'm afraid to close my eyes now. Welcome, Menzies. It is the second episode of the week, and you are here with us to enjoy some crazy thoughts.
Yes, and we know what Menzies stands for. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off. We get it. But you voted for this.
Yeah.
So this is
your
on
fault.
You. This is on you.
This is your fault. So,
it's on one listener in particular.
Yeah. Right. And that listener knows who they are.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. And we will not be communicating with that listener anymore.
We will never forget. I'm not sure what we're talking about, but we're not going to forget about it.
Exactly. Excommunicado.
Excommunicado, yes.
That's right. I'm John Wick, and Russ is the manager of the hotel. I don't know.
I love him. It's the role I would have wanted.
You chose correctly.
I would like to be the manager of the Continental.
Yeah?
Yes.
I'll take John Wick. I love that Mustang. Oh, my goodness. I mean, I don't want my dog to die. And
that's the whole premise of it is so sad.
I mean, I will destroy anybody who kills my dog.
Yeah.
But that Mustang. Oh, my goodness. And then he gets the Chevelle. I'm not a big Chevy guy, but it still looks sweet. Those old muscle cars. Oh, my gosh.
They were styled very nicely.
Oh, yeah. When men used to be men and cars used to have nuts and bolts. Yeah.
Before they got all this fancy technology in them.
Before you had to have a touchscreen in your vehicle?
I used to be able to work on the car myself, and now
because you're a child.
I have to take it to somebody.
I say that. I have a touchscreen in my truck.
I know. You've what a pretty new truck.
I mean, I look at it and I'm like, I like my truck.
I wish it were a newspaper.
Something like that. But then I start thinking, I'm like, what'd be really fun to have is I don't know, a 70s, 80s, maybe 90s diesel. Just diesel, just coal cloud everywhere. But none of these new diesels, because they have turbos, and I hear them by my house, and they act like they're in the F1 race of their life. And it's like, guys, we get it. You have a diesel turbo, awesome. But it's more obnoxious than just the diesel engine. Because you get the diesel rev, and then you hear the turbo kick in. So it's like Mahomes crying at the last game. He cried during the game that he lost against Buffalo.
Your home did?
Mahomes? Yeah, my home. Yeah. No,
I didn't know homes could cry. I'm only a new homeowner.
Don't worry about it.
So, okay, yeah. I should.
It's a fancy
I should
new
be
home.
worried about it.
Yeah.
Because I'm a homeowner, so
they weep from time to time.
Oh, it's so weird. They did not talk about that in the inspection.
It's
because if you see your house crying, it's okay. It's just what it does every.
Buyer beware.
From time to time.
You should have asked more questions.
I should have. Wow, that's how they get you.
Yeah.
They know you're not going to ask the right questions.
Back when I was growing up, speaking of cars, I was just because I like those old muscle cars, and people are like, yeah, but what about the Ferraris and Porsches or Porsches? We're in America, it's a Porsche. All those. I'm like, nah. But if somebody pulled up with a muscle car and said, hey, you want to take a ride? I'd have been like, yeah. But, back when I was a kid, my mom said, don't jump into cars with strangers.
Your mom was a good mother, yes.
I was like, oh, okay.
What constitutes a muscle car?
It burns fuel, and it just, you can hear it. It's a sound.
It's a sound.
Oh,
that constitutes the muscle car? Okay.
It's very much a sound.
I never knew what made it that category.
Like, Okay, so a couple of the muscle cars, the Mustang, the Camaro, the Chevelle, the older GTOs, the newer GTOs that Pontiac tried to put out was like a souped up Sunbird or a Sunfire. And if you want to fight me on that, go ahead. But they look just like a Sunfire. The old GTOs, the Dodge Challengers, the Chargers, well, I don't know if a Dart, but maybe a Dart. But they had
Dart. Really, you would include a Dart in that?
I said maybe.
Okay.
It depends on the engine size. But a car with a V8 and it rumbles, that's a muscle car. If it's a V6, even like Mustangs, and I think Camaros have some V6s. If you have a V6 in a car, I'm sorry. You just have a shiny coat over a hamster wheel. Like,
That's saying a lot because now most cars have a 4-cylinder.
I know, and it's just like, man. But the 4-cylinders are the racers, which are street racer cars. Yeah, yeah.
I was thinking rice.
Yeah, but and a lot of people, you can't say that anymore. It's not PC. Go away.
Why wouldn't it be? I guess
Because they come from like the Asian countries. You got the Hondas, Toyotas.
That's definitely not something you can say nowadays. Glad you said it. That's
yeah.
Really,
but those
our podcast on the map.
I do what I can.
Yeah,
I do what I can. So but the muscle cars, oh my god, like you can feel, like when they pull up to you at a stop sign or a stoplight, you can feel the vibration of the engine in your chest and you feel alive.
I think that's called pneumonia.
Yeah.
You feel that rattle in your
rattling.
chest.
It's like feeling the bass. Can you feel the bass?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. I feel it.
Oh, yeah. Which is really funny because some of those street racing cars had like those systems in it where they would thump. And it's like, how can you race with all that extra weight in there? Mm-hmm. Of course, then again, how can you race? Well, hold on. Now, some people might go, but Brent, how can you race a muscle car with all that extra weight? Because
some people might say that, yes.
Because those older muscle cars are made out of like real metal and steel. So like you could hit it. One of these street racing cars would hit it.
Are they made out of fake metal now?
Well, fiberglass and plastic and all that. So yeah, one of these new street racers would hit it and evaporate. But people will be like, "Well, that car can't because it's got extra weight." Yeah, but it's got a V8. People will be like, "Oh yeah, but the street cars have turbos and nah."
Got to be able to drift.
Yeah. Oh my. Yeah. You
need a smaller car because I've seen Fast and Furious, and you got to be able to slide under semi-tractor trailers.
Yeah, because most cars can do that.
Yeah,
just right on. Changing lanes.
Yep.
Don't mind the extra tire that's underneath the trailer.
Don't mind it. No, that's irrelevant to the situation.
Yeah. So that's sorry. I just yeah.
No, you got a love affair going on with muscle cars over here.
So let's hold on. So I said that when I was a kid. My mom said don't jump into cars with strangers.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
So the progression has been over the years.
You now do jump into cars?
No, hold on. Okay. Don't jump into cars with strangers.
Okay, yep.
Then, when I was in high school, a little bit out of high school, don't meet people off the internet. Like
yeah. That's all we do now.
Yeah, because if you meet people off the internet, you're doing a podcast like this.
Yes.
What
does that say about
Whoops-a-daisy. Russ put out a Craigslist ad. Help wanted.
Hosts needed.
Yeah, host needed. But
light housework also involved.
But today, it's now. It's now. This is how crazy we are. It's now you get onto an app to order an Uber to jump in a car with a stranger that you met off of the internet.
Yeah.
For a ride by yourself.
Seems like a legit thing to do.
I don't know what direction we're going, really. I think all directions. Because people remember during that one thing that happened a couple years ago.
No, I'm not familiar with it.
Things shut down. Okay, the pandemic. There we go.
Okay, yes.
During COVID.
That happened?
Yeah. A lot of
Who
people.
can remember?
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people were in awe about this new thing where you could like order groceries from the grocery store. And people loved it. They're like, "Oh my goodness, DoorDash. Yeah. It's like you do realize that's how groceries actually used to be delivered. Like that's how people used to get their groceries. Have you ever heard of the milkman? Like you had milk brought to your doorstep.
Well, that's kind of the thing I commented on. I think this was actually in a previous podcast iteration. Okay. But the concept of, the big thing was the Sears and Roebuck's catalog.
Sure.
Amazon now sends out a catalog.
They do?
At least last year, for a few years they did. I don't know if they still do.
That thing must be as big as a phone book.
Well, surprisingly, it's really
book.
Yeah, it's really not.
Oh, it isn't?
No, it's very manageable. But but it's interesting to me. It's like we've kind of flipped back around.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's kind of like the catalog is now just online. That's what we do still. We scroll through Amazon or...
You type into the search bar your key words.
It makes it's just an easier catalog.
Right.
That's what we've always wanted. We just wanted the catalog.
Give us the catalog. Yeah,
catalog. Catalog.
I feel if Sears would have still produced the catalog, they wouldn't have been shut. They would still be in business.
Do you think so?
I think so.
I'm intrigued by their decline. They were like the Amazon before Amazon.
Yeah, they were. You had everything in a Sears store: shoes, clothes, tools, sporting goods. I have everything.
But people were like, "I have to go there."
Yeah. What? I don't want to go there
in this economy.
You know how much gas is?
Yeah.
Actually, it's going down, which is nice. But anyways,
that one we don't credit Biden for, though.
No. Heaven forbid.
President controls it when it's bad, and then when we're mad about stuff.
Sure. Yeah. Exactly.
Anyways, carry on.
But I think Sears would still be around. Their decline wouldn't be quite as great if they still produced a catalog.
Interesting hypothesis.
Yeah. I wonder if they would produce a catalog to see if that would work.
Well, I think you have to actually be in existence to produce something.
Okay, well, there's that too.
There's that little detail.
Yeah. Let's do a reboot.
Sears 2.0.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah. We can do it. They can do it. They can do it.
Yeah, let's not put that on us.
Yeah,
I don't know if I want our name on that one there.
No. I don't want to take time to put together a catalog. It's bad enough trying to put together this podcast, and it's for a half hour.
Yeah, and you don't put it together. I do. So, little details there.
Sure. Yeah. You want to take all the credit. Oh, I put it together.
Oh, I do everything.
Remember, I put out the Craigslist ad.
Yeah, you're here because you answered my ad, buddy.
And that
Get
was my
with the
fault.
program.
That
this is your fault.
Yeah. So what do you got for us, Russ, on this second episode?
Yeah. So again, forgive me for my voice sounding like I've been a smoker for my entire life.
Bernie.
Oh goodness, I couldn't do it. I don't have the voice to even do impressions right now. I'm just barely making it through the actual speaking part. I found it interesting. Have you ever been in a situation where where somebody, it's a stranger. This is really something that happens, I think, with random strangers, right? They're talking to you. You're at a store, for instance, and I'll just speak from example here. So you're having a conversation. You don't really listen to what the other person's saying, and you say something that just really doesn't work in the situation because you're not actually paying attention to what they're saying. This happened to me at the store the other day when the cashier, I was going through the self-checkout. I don't like to interact with people.
Yeah.
I prefer robots to people. And but I was buying some cold medicine, naturally. I have the cold.
Yeah.
I didn't realize this was cold medicine that he had to check ID for.
Well, yeah, because
So I finished scanning stuff, and all of a sudden the cashier comes up to me. She's like, "Can I check your ID?" Oh, I was like, "Oh crap, that's right, I bought." All right, here you go. So I give it to her, and she again, I wasn't really listening, so I don't know exactly what
So
she
this
was
is
talking about.
yeah.
So, and
next
I'm
part
also, I've got a cold, so my, a little bit of a fog going on there.
Yeah, way to blame the cold.
Yeah, well, I will.
My ears are plugged.
But she was talking about my age, because she's verifying my age compared to her
Oh.
husband's age.
Okay.
And we were born in the same year.
Okay.
And I wasn't really listening to what she was saying after it. So she's talking, and she had mentioned something, and so I look at her, and I'm like, oh, well, I hope not. I have no idea what she said. So I'm just trying to, you look at the person, you're trying to read the situation, like looking for a sign as to what possibly could have been said. And I know she had made an age comment, right? So I'm kind of like, okay, age, maybe she's talking about getting older, so I hope not. I hope this doesn't happen. So I'm like, oh, hope not. Well, again, not 100% sure what she said, but it was something pertaining to the age of her versus her husband, because apparently she's older than her husband. So basically I was saying, I hope not, to the fact that she's not that much older than her husband. So therefore, I'm making a rather inconsiderate statement, making it seem like I'm some prude about what age people need to be in their marriages, to which I don't care. I don't have an opinion on that one way or another.
Cradle robber.
But here I am now in the middle of this hot button issue, making comments about this poor cashier who I know nothing about. Apparently, I'm some sort of prude now.
Yes.
Well, I can't possibly believe you're that much older than your husband, you hussy. How are you even out in public?
Well, did you ever think about it this way? Like,
I didn't think about it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you know what?
That's
yeah. I'm not going to, in your defense, I'm not going to defend you on this. But maybe she thought about it in this way. Maybe he thinks I'm younger. If she was like, "Oh, I'm this much older," and you're like, "Oh, I hope."
I didn't think she was younger than me. That's the thing. Like, just by the look, there was no. I didn't think she was younger than me.
At least you didn't look at her and go, "Clearly so."
That was right. That would have been horrible. But now I'm, and she like clarified. She was like, "Oh, I'm only 2 years older than he is." I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, that's better." I didn't actually say that, but that's like, how do you respond to that? You've already just you put yourself in the middle of this culture war issue.
Yeah.
And
can you please give me my cold medicine so I can go make meth?
Yeah. Look, lady, I'm just trying to buy drugs here.
Yeah.
Trying to make them and provide them to my community.
Let's
Can you
go.
please stop hindering this?
Yeah. I don't care about your age.
Yeah.
Just give me my goods. I've paid for them.
And it's like, I didn't want to, even if I had made the comment, why was there need to follow up?
Yeah.
I clearly don't want to have a conversation with you.
That's why you're at the self.
That's why I'm at the self-checkout.
Yeah. If you wanted a conversation.
I would have gone through the normal checkout.
Exactly.
So it's just like, why? You don't have to defend yourself to me. I'm just some guy buying drug paraphernalia.
Exactly.
You don't defend yourself to those type of people.
And not only that, but like, I don't know your age. Why are you telling me that you're that much older than your husband?
I don't know. Don't care.
Yeah. Like, sweet. Can I have my ID back? I have to drive.
I understand you feel you got to make small talk.
Yeah. But weather.
Yeah.
Like,
let's keep it to that.
It's a little bit safer.
You're learning an awful lot about me by checking my ID. I know absolutely nothing about you. So unless we're going to exchange IDs.
Right. Yeah.
Then let's not have this conversation.
Is the picture on your ID from when you were first dating your wife?
Yes,
Because that weight is a lie.
Yes, that is. Don't go off of that. This is. Well, they always look at me too because I also had a beard.
Oh, 185. She looks at you. I'm 2 years older. Oh yeah.
But he is wearing glasses still.
You're 185 pounds. Sure. We'll go with that right now. Give me my cold medicine.
You are buying 4 tubs of ice cream, and you're trying to tell me
This is you.
that this is you.
Yeah. The beard makes you look thinner.
That's what, yes.
You should grow one.
Is that your secret?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it
that's
is.
good.
Actually, I think I've talked about it on the podcast before, but my wife always tells me that if my beard gets too long or, quote, too big, I look old and fat.
Oh.
So every time I trim it up, she goes, "Oh my goodness, you look 10 years younger and about 20 pounds lighter."
So there's like a Santa Claus level
Yeah,
that the beard gets to.
I don't think Santa Claus is actually fat and jolly.
it's just
I
the
think-
length of his. He's actually quite svelte.
Yeah, he can run a marathon, I've heard.
It's amazing.
Like record time. But
Actually fitter than most of us.
yeah, that's why he fits in any chimney,
Yes.
down any chimney. It's crazy though. It's like the bigger the beard, the fatter you are.
There's like a dynamic there.
Yeah,
That's
it's
interesting.
a correlation to the
Somebody
beard.
should do a study on this.
No, I think we waste enough money on finding water and water.
That's yes. Well, I mean,
Where else
we're
are you
looking
supposed
at
to
all these different dry land places.
Sure.
For water. Why
For
not?
water,
That
yeah.
doesn't make any sense. You got to
Yeah.
look where it's at.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's a well done. Nice tie-in to
You're
last week's episode. Which is a
ridiculous.
great episode, actually, if you want
Yeah.
to go back and listen to it. Finding Water Where You Least Expect It.
Exactly.
That's the name of that episode. So
You wouldn't have expected it.
it's
I
the
mean,
last
it's-
place. We don't want to give too much away.
Yeah, it's like finding air in air.
I have a couple other thoughts to go over with you, Brent.
Oh, goody. We really should have a day break, or we really shouldn't have a day break between our podcasts
No, we
because you come up with thoughts and it's scary.
It is when I'm allowed to think.
That's when it really starts to smell like it's burning.
The little hamster in there, he's going. He's almost about to have a heart attack.
Yeah, yeah.
So I feel like social media, right,
Oh, goody.
is that friend that keeps a joke going far longer than it should. Right, like, so you're scrolling through social media and you see something funny. You crack up, you send it to a friend, and you keep scrolling. So as you scroll, you come across somebody different doing the exact same sketch the exact same way. You know, it's still fresh.
Yeah, yeah. So you,
So you still chuckle and continue scrolling. Maybe you share it with another friend. But then bam! You find 5 consecutive videos of other people all doing the same thing. So at that point you're like, this is incredibly stupid. Oh. So you check your phone across the room and start pouting. But you'll be back, of course, to scroll again.
are you talking?
It's the nature of it.
Yeah, are you talking about like the I guess it's more TikTok, but where like it's the trends, the TikTok trends where they do like a certain dance or they do
Well, I guess
something-
I've never used TikTok.
well, neither
I
do
don't
I.
like to
but-
give my info to the Chinese so freely.
yeah.
But
You're
I'm
wrong.
talking just Instagram, even just scrolling through Instagram.
But it's like this. It's like different friends doing the exact same thing in a video, right?
It could be. I don't know if they're friends. I don't know their life.
Oh,
I clearly try to stay out of people's lives. I end
it's
up
different
making-
people doing the exact same thing.
I
though,
end
right?
up getting into the middle of culture wars I don't want to be in the middle of. But yeah, it's different. Right. So yeah, it's the same exact sketch
Yeah.
or whatever
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
doing, the same exact bit,
Yeah, yeah. It's a
but it's
trend.
different people doing it.
Yeah.
Like for a while, there was the thing about the cheese tax for your dog. Like if you get cheese out, you got to pay the dog the cheese tax.
What? Who are
haven't
you
heard that
following?
one?
I've
They're
never
not
heard
people I follow. These are videos that just pop up on Instagram.
that. What are people doing?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying though.
I
and then
mean-
like when there's something that kind of hits off,
Like eating Tide Pods?
everybody takes it and they do it, and it's just like, that's why social media, like I'm saying, it's that friend that just takes the joke too far. They say the same joke every time you get together. They make the same reference.
Yeah.
It's like, get some new material, pal.
Yeah, yeah, and that's honestly like, I think I might have said this before, but maybe I haven't. I only have Snapchat. and you can find me on I'm not gonna tell you .never. So
I'll look you up.
oh my goodness. What kind of Snapchat are you running? But I'll see that in Snapchat videos. And it's just like, okay, I've seen this same thing.
It's even infected Snapchat?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Because a lot of people will share like TikTok videos on other platforms. So it's like the same dance, just different people.
That's what a lot of Instagram is, too,
Yeah.
just sharing TikTok videos.
And it's like, first of all, let's get back to Vine. Because Vine was much better. Vine was like 6 seconds, so you had to make it quick. But you get the same thing over and over. After like 4 or 5 swipes, you're like, okay, I'm done. It's all the same thing. I don't care. And you're right. It is. You're like, okay, the first one you see, you're like, all right, that was pretty funny. And then you scroll and you're like, all right, that's still pretty cool. Like different people. And then a couple more scrolls, you're like, all right, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
You guys have ruined the internet.
And it's all in the span of like 30 seconds.
Yes.
That this happens.
Yeah, it's not like you've been on for hours. No. It's like I haven't been on for half a minute.
I just logged on and I already hate everything.
Can we please bring the internet back to its original format?
Can we get Zanga back? Is that
my goodness
possibility here?
Zanga.
Maybe MySpace?
I love. Oh yes. Now you're speaking my language.
That's the good times.
Yeah. AOL.
Kids these days wouldn't even understand. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Instant Messenger.
Oh, yes. All the doors opening and closing. You hoping for that one person to come on. You're like, I really want to talk to that one person.
Kids these days don't understand what it took to get onto the internet. You had to sit and listen to that horrible dial-up sound.
Yeah. And then your mom made a call and you're like, Mom!
I'm on the internet.
I was on the internet.
This site almost loaded.
Yeah. What are you looking at? Nothing. It's my Zynga page.
So I just found that interesting. That like social media now is just basically that one annoying friend that doesn't know how to stop a joke.
Yeah. I think now that you bring that up, I think that it's just like it's not even like people trying to be funny. It's like the gym bros that give all the same advice.
Yes.
It's like, guys.
And the advice they give is not real advice.
Yeah.
And the facts they give, like, I was today years old when I found out that if you put glue on the backside of a picture and you hang it, you will be able to bake a cake. It's like, what? None of those things are even connected.
Yeah, the whole I was today years old. It's like, well then read a book.
I hate the today years old is like a perfect example. Like, oh, okay, you're the 50,000th person to have said that. Ha 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 ha.
Or like the new trendy dance. I think I don't know what episode it was, but a while back I think I mentioned a young lady that I'm pretty sure is in Africa. She's white. And she's like in these African villages dancing with the villagers. And it's like, why? Like,
they'd like water, but no, I'm here to dance for you.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, are you supposed to be there like helping people, or are you just there to get famous dancing with the Africans? Like, not entirely sure. And it's not even her learning the culture dance. It's her doing the hip hop, whatever, shake your hips, whatever the new dances are, with the Africans. It's like, I don't know if that's the kind of culture you want to be spreading.
The worst part of our culture.
Like, thank you for bringing that to Africa. Like, not education, heaven forbid, but you shaking your hips.
That's what the Africans are really looking for.
Yeah, I mean, they probably do it in their own traditional dance, but not for warning, explicit content. Not shaking their hips in a slutty way. Sorry, it had to be said. Like, Oh gosh, it's
We got you fired up now about it. I'm sorry.
That's yeah. Well, because you do make a great point. Like one video, sweet, move on.
But then you scroll through and it's like all these other people doing the same thing, and it's like
You would think there would be an algorithm that would be like, hey, this is all the same video. Just put it in one spot so you can just watch one video. And if you decide that you want to see how other people do it, you can scroll through all of that.
But instead the algorithm is like, you watched one of these videos, you want to see 500 more.
Oh, my
Thanks,
goodness.
AI.
Oh, somebody's coming to my side. Welcome.
Well, no, I'm
dark
not.
Side.
I don't think AI is going to take over the world because I've seen what AI is capable of, and
Those
it's not very
videos.
good at what it does. If that computer in the store cannot verify my ID so that the lady has to come and talk to me and I
Yeah,
have to get in the middle of a culture war,
Yeah.
then there's no point in AI.
Yeah, AI stinks. I did hear that Musk is gonna make it better. So
Oh, good. We're saved.
Yeah, we are. You know what the nice thing is though
What's that?
is that this show
This one right
This
here.
one. is never repeating. We'll go back and touch on some subjects, sure, but you won't find another show like this.
That's true. Not even the algorithm for Spotify can recommend another show. 'Cause they're like, we don't know what this is.
Or iTunes. It will be so Spotify or iTunes can't even find another podcast
They're like,
like this.
we can't classify this.
Yeah. So if you want something, if you're here listening, you're listening to something unique, and you should pass it along.
You should.
You absolutely should.
Absolutely.
And if you want to thank us for our efforts of bringing you something so unique, please send those into the menacing. Well, not but menacing
Every
podcast.
time.
No. I was gonna say the menacing podcast at gmail.com. Like send it into menacing podcast at gmail.com. And our Twitter. Oh,
You're doing great.
last episode I nailed it though.
You were very smooth on the last episode.
X, formerly known as Twitter, Purple Rain, Menacing Podcast at Menacing Podcast. Facebook /Meta is Menacing Podcast, and you can find the show on Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, and most places that podcasts are played. So, listen to something unique, become someone unique, and enjoy being different. Because that's what you're going to be when you listen to this podcast. Somebody different. You're welcome.
Did you know they name rubber band like colors?
Yeah. What?
Yeah. They have rubber band colors. Pale crepe gold.
Ooh.
Known fact there.
I'm
A
going
little factoid.
I'm going to paint my new room pale.
Pale crepe
Great.
gold. That's a great color.
Yeah,
it
it
really
is.
brings out the.
Feels like I'm in a rubber room. You are, buddy.
Yeah.
You are.
We got a little vest for you to put on there.
Ooh, safety.